There's a strange silence that surrounds those who walk alone. People notice it. They whisper about it. They say, he doesn't have many friends, but what they don't realize is that this silence often hides power, because sometimes being alone doesn't mean you're empty. It means you've outgrown the noise. Today, we're not talking about loneliness as weakness. We're talking about the kind of solitude that forges the soul, the kind that Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus lived by. 5 traits, 5 signs that you might not be broken, but built differently. Let's begin. Sign 1. Authenticity, the courage to be unmasked in a world where everyone's trying to impress everyone else. Authenticity is rebellion. People change their tone, their interests, even their morals just to fit in. They wear masks so tight they forget who they are underneath. But you don't play that game. You'd rather be misunderstood than fake. Yes, that means fewer people stay, but those who do see the real you. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." That's not just Stoic morality, that's authenticity. It takes courage to walk into a room and not adjust your soul just to make others comfortable. It takes inner strength to stay aligned with your principles when popularity costs less than truth. So if your phone doesn't ring often, remember, it's not silence. It's integrity. You're not lacking friends. You're rejecting illusions. Sign 2. Independence, the strength of standing alone. We live in a world where validation is currency. Likes, comments, attention. They've become the new oxygen. But the Stoics knew something deeper. If your peace depends on other people, you are never truly free. People who walk alone learn this the hard way. They face their own thoughts. They learn to enjoy their own company. They become self-sufficient in a world addicted to noise. Epictetus said it perfectly. No man is free who is not master of himself. You don't wait for someone to tell you it's okay to rest. You don't need a crowd to start something new. You move because your compass is internal. Here's the paradox. The more independent you become, the more connected you are to life itself. Because your energy isn't wasted chasing approval. You build, you create, you become. So if people call you distant, smile. You're not distant, you're disciplined. Sign 3. Selectivity, the wisdom to choose. Few you've probably heard the saying, it's better to have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. That's selectivity in action. Selectivity isn't arrogance. It's clarity. You don't avoid people because you're cold. You avoid those who drain your soul. In a world where everyone wants to belong, you have the courage to filter. You know that being around the wrong energy costs more than being alone. Seneca wrote, "Associate with those who make you better." That's Stoic social wisdom. You don't collect people, you cultivate them. You don't chase company, more you invite resonance. Think of a master chef. He doesn't fill his kitchen with random ingredients. He chooses each one carefully because the quality of the dish depends on it. That's you. You treat relationships like fine art, crafted, not crowded. People might call it being picky. You call it peace, and in the end, that's worth more than any crowd. Sign 4. Introspection, the mirror of the inner world. There's a universe inside you, but most people never visit it. They're too busy scrolling, posting, running, fleeing from the silence that could actually heal them. But you've been there. You've sat with yourself long enough to know your own storms. You've looked inward, and that takes bravery most can't even imagine. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Meditation's not for the world but for himself. Private notes, personal corrections. A mirror for the mind." You live in that same tradition. You question your motives. You analyze your emotions. You ask why when everyone else just reacts. While others chase entertainment, you chase enlightenment. Your solitude isn't emptiness, and it's a sanctuary of thought. And when people ask, "Don't you get lonely?" you smile and say, "No, I get clear." Sign 5. Growth, the evolution. Born from solitude, Seneca once said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." When you walk alone, you face resistance, in both external and internal. But here's the secret. Every ounce of resistance is shaping you. While others escape discomfort, you use it as fuel. While they seek distraction, you seek direction. There's a quiet transformation that happens when you stop running from yourself. You grow. You evolve. You ascend. People who spend time alone develop maturity beyond their years. Because solitude is not silence, it's the classroom of the soul. You learn emotional control. You learn perspective. You learn that peace isn't found, it's forged. Imagine standing on a mountaintop, watching the world below still chasing noise. That's what growth through solitude feels like. From that height, you see patterns others miss. You understand not from theory, but from experience. Your stillness becomes your weapon. Your peace becomes your proof. The Stoic reflection. You are not alone in being alone. The greatest minds of history, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, Thoreau, they all walked through long corridors of silence. They weren't lonely, they were becoming. They didn't fear the absence of company, and they feared the absence of purpose. So when the world tells you you need to be more social, more loud, more seen, remember this. The strength to walk alone is the strength that changes everything. Because solitude isn't rejection, it's refinement. You're sharpening your soul, refining your focus and rising above the noise. You're not broken, you're becoming rare. The Stoic gratitude, the closing reflection. If you've made it this far, it means you're not just watching, you're listening. Maybe you saw yourself in these words. Maybe you've been told that walking alone is strange, but now you know it's sacred. The Stoics believed a wise person can be at peace even in a crowd, because peace begins within. So be yourself, without masks. Stand alone, without fear. Choose wisely, without apology. Reflect deeply, without distraction. Grow, without limits. Because the moment you master your solitude, you'll never feel lonely again. You're not behind, you're not invisible, you're just becoming untouchable. If this message spoke to something inside you, leave a quiet sign below. Type "done." That comment is your promise to yourself, your small act of discipline. And if you want more daily Stoic wisdom, subscribe to Stoic Spark and tap that bell icon so you never miss another reflection that helps you rise higher, think deeper, and live calmer. Because in a world full of noise, your silence